leave it like that. Matt, if you can record it, record it. Oh,
Okay.
already I think she started. Sunanda started. Okay.
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 A very good evening to one and all. We warmly welcome you to the Decan Positive Mental Health webinar series. It is our privilege to extend a heartfelt welcome to today's esteemed person and to all the enthusiastic participants and to our dedicated teammates. On behalf of Mansur Bakar Hyderabad, Yellow Pond Wellness Center, India, and 4S Creative Studio, Punjab Refined, we sincerely thank you for being part of this initiative dedicated to fostering mental well-being and encouraging positive change. I call upon Inia Sugumar to give an introduction about today's esteemed resource person.
Thank you, Teja. It is my honor to introduce today's resource person, Professor Matt, a clinical professor of practice for a university in India currently based in the USA. With almost 40 years of experience, Professor Matt has been dedicated to teaching the path to peace from the inside out through the power of emotional intelligence and positive mental health. He brings a unique brand of caring, emotional ownership, and light-hearted positive enjoyment to his work, helping people delve into themselves and their emotions for profound, life-enhancing, and sometimes life-saving benefits. It is our honor to have you here, sir. Thank you. You can proceed with the session, sir.
Very good. Okay, well, thank you for the introduction. It was very nice, and thank you for having me. I assume you can hear me and see the slides. Yep,
Yes.
very
Yes.
good. Excellent. Okay. Okay, well, let's get started. I have too many slides as usual because there's so much to cover, and so I'm going to go fairly quickly. I apologize, but hang in there. Here we go. Okay, so we're doing a study on this. If you want to be involved with it, there's a pre workshop questionnaire. Here's a link to it, and the QR code if you want to do it real quick. But it's an easy self-guided thing, 20 questions, and then enjoy the workshop. So I put a link to the PowerPoint in the chat, and so you can follow along or keep it for later or keep there's going to be some slides I'm not going to be able to cover because we're not going to only have an hour. So here's what we're trying to do. We're trying to educate people on their emotions. Most people have no idea how to deal with their emotions. You guys probably are pretty good at this, so I'm gonna kind of go through it quickly, but I'm hoping that you can learn more about yourself, especially learn more about yourself emotionally, and put it to use in your life. According to Wikipedia, education is not just knowledge, it's learning how to use it, how to put it to use. And so that's what we're going to try and make it practical also. All right, educational and practical. They both matter. So we'll start off with the beginning. We have two sides of our brain, right? This is not argument. This is an actual brain with a spinal cord, and it's wild that this lady has a brain in her hands. It's incredible, but that's an actual brain, and there are actually two sides of the brain. What they're finding is that there are basically two, the logic is on the left side and emotions are on the right side. Basically, not exactly, but basically, you get the idea, right? So the problem is that our culture and your culture and most of the cultures in the world are focused on our left brain for education and for logic and for getting a job. We focus on our left brain and we do not focus much on our right brain, and that is a problem. The key to all of this is to balance the two, balance them. We need both. We need our logic. That's a good thing, right? But we need our emotions as well, it turns out. So we learn about our left brain. We don't learn about our right brain. Most people don't know about them at school, work, home. They don't know about them. We don't talk about them either. And we're born with everything we need to be happy and loving and peaceful. We just don't know how to use it. So the solution is education, and that's what you guys are doing here right now. I applaud you for that. Learning new things, interested, being open, having what we call a growth mindset as opposed to a fixed mindset, and learning new things, expanding your view. Study after study after study are showing that these things are teachable, learnable skills. Happiness, success, well-being, and peace are teachable and learnable. If we can be smart with our heart smart with our thoughts and feelings and emotions with ourselves, we can do some amazing things in our lives. So, emotions matter a lot, a lot. They matter more than we ever imagined. Nobody likes to talk about them. They're mushy. They're weird. You can't hold them in your hand. You can't see them. They sometimes they don't feel good at all. And so a lot of people don't want to deal with their emotions, but it turns out they're the key to so many things in our lives. So let's learn about them. There's so much we don't know. They're really usually pretty simple, but they're not easy sometimes, right? Dealing with your anger and pain and fear, that kind of thing are not easy. They're very, very difficult sometimes, but it's really, really simple. If you are really sad, if you let yourself cry, you will feel better, right? Simple. If you're angry, be angry for a minute and then breathe and let it go. You can do that. That's simple, but it's not so easy sometimes in the middle of things. So there's no health without mental health, some people say. Um, if you want to be successful, you want to have good relationships, you want to have positive mental health, fully balanced life, we got to balance the two, balance our emotions with our logic. Aristotle said, educating the mind without educating the heart is no education at all. That's a little bit severe, but you get the idea. We need to do both sides, and we need to work on ourselves to do that. AI is not going to do it. It can give you some information. Emotional intelligence is good information, but you got to work on you, your emotions, your how you handle things, what you do with them, how big they are, what they look like, what they feel like. That's you. That's you. And you got to work on you and take some time to work on yourself and learn about that. And you'll be the best time you ever spent. I think everybody should take psychology in school. I think everybody should go to therapy for a little while. That's my opinion. But learning about ourselves, most interesting subject on the planet, in my opinion. As you probably know, this mostly started with Daniel Goleman's book called Emotional Intelligence, Why It Can Matter More Than IQ. Like I said, I don't think it matters more than IQ, but it does matter, and it matters a lot. And so the great book changed the world. He said there's four basic domains to emotional intelligence: being aware of yourself, being aware of and being able to manage yourself, being aware of others, and being able to manage your relationship with others. Again, not rocket science, pretty simple, but sometimes not so easy. Not so easy, right? So there's a science to it. There's a science to how our emotions work in our body. And a lot of you probably know more about this stuff than I do. There are two sides of your brain. We have our amygdala, we have our prefrontal cortex, we have our limbic system, we got our synapses. Those things are happening. Our emotions work in our body pretty much the same throughout the world. And they do. And we don't, it's not arguable. They're going to do it whether we like it or not, whether we know about them or not, whether we manage them or not. They're happening. It's a science. It's happening whether we manage them or not. So that's real and it's true. There's emotions have science to them, anatomy of them, like how long they take to go up, and intensity, how long they last, to reduce, how often they happen. This is from Paul Ekman Group, some great stuff, and these are real, and this is what's happening. This is science, right? What we're trying to add to that, what my specialty and my interest is in positive mental health, which is the art of EQ, not the science. That's already happening. It's interesting. Great. It's already happening. And like I said, it's interesting, but there's kind of a so what factor. So that's how my synapses work. So how do I work them? What do I do with them on a daily basis? That's what I care about. And that is positive. We're calling positive mental health, which you guys know of that term very well. I was really excited when you guys changed your name to positive mental health. It's a beautiful thing. So it's based on positive psychology. Dr. Seligman from University of Pennsylvania started positive psychology. He's saying that we don't have to people that are having trouble and need to go to therapy. The purpose of therapy was to get people from trouble, from negative, back to normal. He said, wait a minute, we can do better than that. We don't have to just go back to normal. We can be excellent. We can thrive. We can not just survive. We can be beautiful. We can be resilient. We can be powerful. We can do some great things with our lives. We don't just have to be quote normal, get back to even. We can be excellent, and that's what I think positive mental health can do as well. So, emotional intelligence is how our emotions work, right? That's interesting information. Positive mental health is how to work them. What do I do with them? And inner peace is the goal. Inner peace is the goal. The title of this subject today is Emotional Intelligence Leading to Peace. And that's where we're going with this. So there is a point to it. And I'm suggesting that the more we know about ourselves and our emotions, and the better we can handle our positive mental health, the more peace we can have inside and outside of us. So that's where we're going with this. So, positive mental health is the art of EQ. How do we work our own and others' thoughts, emotions, actions? They're happening. What do we do with them, right? We got to navigate them. We got to give ourselves permission. A lot of us don't give ourselves permission to deal with our emotions. We're gonna we got to deal with them, and we are the ones who stop ourselves. We got to be aware of what Daniel Goleman calls amygdala hijack. That's where your emotions take over and you can't think anymore. It's where what he called where smart people do dumb things because their emotions got too high and they're just start reacting to those. And that's a bad thing. So we need to be able to manage them. We need to be able to manage them. So, um, so our inner world, what we basically need to deal with is our thoughts, our feelings and emotions, our decisions, what do we do with those? And then our actions, what do we decide to do actions, right? And what do we decide to not do, which is a very cool thing. Non-actions are a big deal because sometimes with strong emotions, not saying it or not hitting them back or not, right, not doing any action is a really good idea when the emotions get really strong. So non-actions is a big deal. So, but we get to decide. This is our inner world. Our thoughts and feelings are up here, or head and heart, if you like, whatever, however you want to put it. But our thoughts and feelings, then we just make decisions based on our thoughts and feelings, and then we act or not act based on our decisions, right? Again, super simple. Again, not so easy sometimes. So, EQ is why emotions matter. Positive mental health is how to work them. Inner peace is what do we do with them? What do we do with them? So I'm saying that the science of it and the art of it put together become magic. They're kind of magic, and that's what positive mental health is. So what we're trying to learn is not only what do we do about our problems, we have to learn how we got to deal with our problems, right? I'm not saying we don't. Positive mental health and positive psychology doesn't say ignore your problems. It says learn how to deal with them. But there's a difference. This is a big deal. There's a difference between what do we do about our problems, and we do need to deal with them, right? What do we do with them? About them, that is an action. But what do we do with them is another super important part of our lives. What do we think about? What are we feeling while we're having these problems? That's a big deal. It's not an action, but it is important in our lives and in our inner world. My example for this, my biggest example for this, I'm afraid, is that I have cancer right now. So, and I've had it for a while, and I'm going to talk more about this later because I've learned some cool things from having cancer, good or bad, but I have. And so, what do I do about that? Well, I go to the doctor, I go get my chemos, I go to radiation. I've done so much stuff with this, and I take the pills that they tell me to take. My job is to go, okay, okay, we're going to cut you open and take parts of you out, okay? Like, okay, that's what I'm doing about the problem, right? That is what I'm doing about it. But what do I do with that? What do I do with that? It has been incredibly educational for me to have cancer. I can tell you, it has been amazing journey, amazing journey. What do I think about? What I'm facing my biggest fear of any human's life, which is our mortality, or that we're going to die. And I've been very, very close, and it's pretty scary. And I had two cancers at once, two at once. And what do I do with that on a daily basis? And it's it's rocked my world, I can tell you. And so that's where I come up with this is what do I do about it? It's completely different than all day long when I got it. What do I do with that? So anyway, that's what we're talking about. Positive mental health is the most practical subject there is. It affects us all day, every second of every day. We cannot not think, we cannot not feel. So I suggest we get darn good at both of them. Get good at both of them. Here's a definition for you. I like this one. Positive mental health refers to the state of psychological and emotional well-being in which individuals are able to function optimally, cope with normal stresses of life and extreme stresses of life sometimes, and contribute positively to their community. That's what we're doing right here, right? That's what we're doing. It involves the ability to think, feel, and act in ways that promote happiness, resilience, and a sense of purpose and meaning in life. Isn't that great? Isn't that great? So I love this definition. Came from Farah Siraj, who runs the Nurture Life. I work closely with Farah often, and she's a wonderful lady that has works with suicide prevention mostly all over India and beyond. And it's just a great definition of positive mental health. So this is inside, you guys. This is inside of us. I know this isn't a big shock to you guys, but it is to a lot of people. They don't know that. They think that it's outside and it's the weather and it's my teachers and it's my parents and it's my spouse and it's the economy and that sort of thing that makes me happy or makes me unhappy. It doesn't. It's you. It's you. It's inside. Happy people build their inner world. Unhappy people blame their outer world, right? So go within, go within. That's what matters. And here's the good news. They're yours. No matter what's happening outside of us, we get to choose. We get to manage what's happening inside of us. Our thoughts, feelings, decisions, actions, attitudes, motivations, our intentions, our beliefs, all that stuff are ours, 100% ours. People do what they do, and stuff's going to happen outside of us. That's true. And it affects us, but it doesn't control us. We are in control. I want to be a control freak in this area. I want to have control of me, and I do, and I am, and I are, and you do too. And that's a wonderful thing. And we need to share this with kids because kids don't know this. They don't know this. We create our own selves. And we can manage them, and we can work them, and we can make them work for us, not against us. That is a beautiful thing. We're born with everything we need to be happy and healthy and successful. We just got to learn how to use it. It's a training and education issue, which is super good news. So, and we can, like I said, we can do better than just survive. We can thrive. Martin Seligman said, psychology is not just a study of disease and weakness and damage. It's about strength and virtue. Positive psychology is not just a fix of what's broken, it's nurturing what's the best in you. Isn't that cool? I love that statement. So this is really good news. And okay, so here's my point. Here's my biggest point to my whole thing. I'm going to run my mouth for a while, but if you don't take anything away from this whole thing, take this one thing. They're yours. It's ownership. It's your ownership. They're your feelings. They're your thoughts. They're your emotions. They're yours. They're the key to happiness is, in my opinion, is emotional responsibility. If I know that I am in charge of me, I could do some amazing things with my life. I can run things. I can manage things. I can manage my relationship. I can do all stuff. If I don't, if I think that they did it to me, if the world is making me feel this way, if you made me angry, if I really believe that, it will end up being a whiner, blamer, victim. It's not going to go well. It's not going to go well. So there's one thing right now, decide right now, they're yours. And not just some of them, all of them, all of them. Your thoughts and emotions are yours. They're yours. If you don't like them, you can change them. So you are in charge of you. In me, to me, this was a life changer for me. That's one of the big reasons I'm here right now. Is that I realized this a bunch of years ago, and I like, wow, wow, I'm in charge of me. And then I found out nobody knows that. I didn't know that. And then I'm like, nobody else knows that either. Like, we got to tell people about that. So we started a nonprofit, and that's we're trying to teach the world how to do this. Dr. Thapa is with me today. She's also doing the same thing. It's fantastic, and we got to teach people that they're in charge of themselves so that they can manage themselves. Some truths are that no one makes you angry ever. No one makes you angry. No one hurts your feelings. No one makes you mad. They don't do that. You do that. That's good news. That's good news. And more specifically, your thoughts about what's happening create your feelings. So if you have negative thoughts, you're probably going to have negative feelings. The cool part is that you can change them. You made them. You can change them. You can change them. So, ownership is the way to go. We are trying to learn how to respond rather than react to life, right? Reaction is habitual, automatic. Oh, whoa, whoa. Somebody does something. Oh, right away. Wow. Well, that's one way to do it. More better. A more better way is to learn how to respond, how to take some intentional, purposeful, oh, okay. Wait a second. Do I really want to say that? Do I really want to hit him back? Are you sure you want to do that? And just take a couple seconds to decide whether I'm going to respond, how I'm going to respond, if I'm going to even respond, right? No action's a cool action. So this is from 6seconds.org, 6 seconds, the number 6seconds.org. They're the biggest EQ trainer in the world. I've been involved with them for 20 plus years, and they're saying that scientifically it takes about 6 seconds for your emotions to go, and if you just shut up, just don't do anything for just, it's like counting to 10, that old thing. Just settle down, let your body settle just a little bit. Just take a couple seconds before you respond, and then you won't have to apologize as often. You won't have to ruin your relationships as often. That kind of thing. You can respond, you can do what you believe is the good things to do. So learn how to respond rather than react. Like I said, no matter what happens outside of us, and sometimes, like with cancer and stuff like that, what's happening inside, we still have the power to control our thoughts and our feelings, our decisions, our actions inside of us. There's so many things that we can't control, but there's some really big, important things that we can control. We're not taught how to use this stuff in school. The purpose of our nonprofit is to teach, to get emotional education into schools everywhere, especially starting in Asia, actually. And it's a bad thing. It's a problem, and it's in fact, I'd suggest it's one of the biggest problems in the world today is that kids, people, adults, teens, everybody does not know how to deal with their emotions specifically, and that at school, work, at home, none of it, none of it. Our parents didn't teach us because they don't know. Our teachers didn't teach us because that wasn't part of the curriculum. It's starting to be, and in the United States, we're doing a lot of good stuff. Dr. Thapich shared a statistic with me that something like 90% of the schools in the United States now have some part of social emotional learning, is what it's called in schools. Emotional education in schools is called social emotional learning, SEL. That's what they call it most of the time, and it's starting to happen. It's growing, and it's getting more and more urgent as people are finding how that this is a big problem that we don't know about this stuff, and it's not going well. It's not going well. So we're starting to teach about it in schools. In fact, it's really not going well, as you probably know. Things are bad and getting worse in a lot of ways. Violence, abuse, addictions are going up. Suicide. Check this slide. Here's my next slide. In India are shooting up after COVIDs. They're going up like crazy, and in my opinion, they're avoidable. That's the ultimate in not knowing how to deal with your emotions. You're like, I can't deal with this. I don't know what they actually think, but I can't deal with this. It's overwhelming. I can't fix it. I'm out of here. And they do a permanent solution to a temporary problem, and boom, you're gone. And that's awful, awful. I know a bunch of people that have committed suicide, and it's a terrible feeling if you know of anybody who does. It's just, man, wow. It's something. Anyway, we need to talk about it. We need to deal with our emotions, and we can deal with our emotions, and we can deal with our problems. Divorces are up, mental health is up, issues are up. Physical health, they're now connecting mental health issues with physical health, emotions. If you don't deal with your emotions, eventually your body's going to start falling apart. If you are tense all the time, if you're in fear all the time, your body can't handle that for very long. And they have now done studies and found direct correlation between problems that have happened as a child and how many severe medical problems you have as an adult. ADA, not ADHD, um, cancer. I'm an example of that. Diabetes, on an OCD, all of that stuff is based on you're more likely to get them if you have big emotions from your childhood. They're called adverse childhood experiences. There's study after study on those, and they're a very big deal. Anyway, crimes are going up. As you know, wars happening more and more now. We've got a maniac in charge in the United States now, and he's starting wars. And it just supposedly ended one, but we'll see about that. But anyway, it's not going well. And emotional education, in my opinion, is the answer, is the solution to that. Is that we got to learn about how to deal with our emotions. People are dying quite literally to know what we know about emotions. They used to be uh, like a nice to have skill, but now it's critical coping survival skill. It's not funny anymore. Um, if we can't deal with our inner world, we're in trouble, right? As evidenced by this chart. So, we're born, like I said, with just a few fears. The way I was taught was that we're born with only two fears, two: fear of loud noises, fear of falling. Those are the only two fears that we have when we're born, and we're born with no anger, which means that all of the fears that we have as an adult, and all the anger that we have, and all the sadness that we have as an adult, or even as a teenager, those are learned. Those are learned behavior. They're nurture, not nature, which means that if you learn them, you can unlearn them. If you decided them, you can undecide. If you pick them up, you can put them back down. So that means you're in charge. You're in charge. It's a beautiful thing, right? So, what we're trying to do is change with positive mental health. You change your thoughts, which will change your feelings, which will change your life, pretty much in that order. So if you have big feelings, figure out what were you thinking to get to that feeling. What thoughts did you have that made you feel that way? If you think you're safe, you're going to feel a lot better than if you think you're unsafe. If you think the world's out to get you, you're going to feel completely different than if you don't think that, right? Your thoughts affect your feeling big time. So check out your thoughts and know that you can change them. You can change them if you don't like them. All right. If they're happening, right? They're happening. A thought goes through, you hear it, you become aware of it, you go, okay, all right, I had this thought, it already happened, now it's in the past. Do I like that thought? Do I agree with that thought? Is this the one I'm gonna live with now? Is this where I want to go with this? So a lot of times I'm like, oh, that was a terrible thought. I think I'll have a different thought, and I can make myself have a different thought on purpose, on purpose. Then guess what? I feel better and do better, and it's a wonderful thing. So we're in charge. And what's all that cost? What's all that's all of this? Well, all of this. What's it cost? Nada, zero, none, nothing, nothing, ever, ever, ever. So, first three steps to positive mental health: awareness, acceptance, and action. Awareness. We can't do anything without until we are aware, right? We can't do anything until we're aware. So, mindfulness, consciousness, other words for it, become aware of what's going on inside of you, your thoughts, your feelings, learn about yourself, and learn what you're not aware of just as much. Second is acceptance. It's a big deal. It doesn't seem like it, but it is, because most of us don't accept our thoughts and our emotions, especially our emotions. We don't accept them. We deny them and lie to ourselves about them and poo-poo them and all that. We don't accept them. Or you go, huh, I'm feeling sad. I'm feeling embarrassed. I'm feeling scared right now. Okay, it's okay. Whatever it is, you don't have to keep it. You don't have to, it doesn't have to stay with you, but you don't have to have it become part of you, but it helps really to go, oh, okay, okay, okay. I have this feeling. I accept it and accept that you made it. You made it. They didn't do it to you. You did it to you. Right? So accept ownership. Like I said, emotional responsibility, accept ownership. And it only takes both of these. Take 1 second. You're like, oh, less than a second. The speed of thought. You just like, okay. This is what I'm feeling. Okay, this is what I'm feeling. And then you can decide whether you want to do something with that thought and feeling or not. And one of the things you can do with it is get rid of it and do another one. Just ignore it and do another one. I'm going to change my thought. I want to change my feeling so I can decide what I want to do with it. And I can decide that I don't want to do anything with it or I don't want to do anything to you because of it. Any of that. I get to do that. I get to do that. And that puts me in charge of me. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. So, awareness and acceptance, first two steps. I suggest you could do it right now. Do right now. What are you feeling right now? Try to identify, accept what are you feeling. We can't manage what we're not aware of. I call it name it to tame it. So this is a little chart that is a lot of our teachers use. They go around this class during the day, sometimes a couple times a day, and ask the kids one word, what are you feeling? That gives you awareness. It gives you acceptance. It gives you validation. It gives the kids ability to understand themselves. You make more sense to you. It gives the kids ability to see that other people have feelings too, and they have the same feelings. So they not only so they fit in, so that they belong, which is a huge part of mental health, as you probably know. Alfred Adler taught Rudolf Dreikurs, Dr. Dreikurs from Children the Challenge, very famous book on childhood. And he said, our mental health is directly related to our sense of belonging. Belonging. Find ways that you belong, that you fit in. It's really important to our mental health. And so when people realize that other people are feeling the same as they are, they go, oh, I'm not weird. I'm not an alien. I'm not bizarre. I'm just having a feeling just like everybody else. Isn't that cool? So I call it name it to tame it. Identify what you're feeling, and then you could do something with it. Here's a bigger chart on it. This is from 6 Seconds, like I said, 6seconds.org. They've got some great stuff on this and other charts about emotions and how to identify them and what are the core ones. You see these ones in the middle are your core emotions, they say, and then you can expand out and that sort of thing. Anyway, learn about them. Try ask yourself over and over during the day, what am I feeling? Just that. Write it down or just be able to identify it. And then, like I said, you make more sense to you and you'll be able, and it's really helpful when with other people in your relationships to be able to share what you're feeling, what's going on for you, and it helps your relationship. So you've got to be able to name it first, and then you can explain it to other people, right? So I'm saying there's a lot of different theories on how many different emotions there are and what are our core emotions and that sort of thing. I suggest there are three big ones, the positive, big ones, joy, peace, and love. Joy, peace, and love. That's it. I mean, there's all kinds of iterations of that and little nuances to them, but basically, I want to have a good vocabulary of my emotions so I can explain myself to myself and to others. But I find it useful to be able to just sum it up. Just sum it up. There's just a couple. Joy, peace, and love. Very simple. And they're all kind of our natural states. If you notice, little babies are born with most of these and normal kids, and they when they can deal with their negatives, they come back to their natural state, which are these, which are positive. Isn't that cool? That's our natural state. So what we can do, we can exaggerate our positive feelings. If you're having joy, be joyful. Exaggerate enthusiasm, I call it, right? Be joyful. This is one of the things I'm actually pretty good at, as you could probably guess. Appreciate it when you feel this stuff. Just notice it and appreciate it. I'm like, wow, and where'd this come from? And what thought did I have that helped me feel this joy and peace? And notice it and multiply them. Make it more often during your day. Do it consciously on purpose. Create things that make you happy, that make bring you joy, peace, and love. Try it. Try it and focus there. Kind of, I'm not saying ignore the emotion, the negative emotions, but we don't have to focus on them and spend all day, every day on them. It gets very, very old. We focus on some of the positive stuff, and so we can exaggerate our positives and have them more often. So that's the point of positive mental health, in my opinion. This is my stupid little chart that just says if we can deal with our negatives, which we need to do, if we can deal with our negatives, we can have more positives. Super simple, not so easy again. So it's knowing how to deal with our negative emotions. So here we go. I suggest, all right, this chart here shows a bunch of negative emotions. Well, I suggest there's only three. They all boil down to these three. These three: fear, anger, and sadness. They all kind of boil down to those three in my experience at 40 years or so. And what we're finding is if you can really handle those three to the depth that your body feels them, your biggest fears, your deepest anger, and your core sadness, if you can deal with those, there isn't much that life can throw at you that you can't handle. You'll be able to handle most anything that comes at you. If you can deal with your fear, anger, and sadness, it's a beautiful thing. Try it. Try it. Learn about those three. Those three. So, what do we do? First, become aware of them. Second, accept them. All right, all right. This is what I'm feeling. Okay, just okay. Like I said, takes just a second. Allow them permission to feel. A lot of people stuff them down and deny them, like I was saying, and all that. Give yourself permission to feel your own feelings. Give yourself. Nobody stops you from feeling except for you. Permission to Feel is also the name of a great book by Dr. Mark Brackett from the Yale Center for Emotional Intelligence. He runs it, and it's a fantastic book, and it's called Permission to Feel. I got a picture of it later on, but it's a great book, and it just about how we stop ourselves and how we don't have to do that. It's like I said, it's up to us. It's up to us. So learn to understand yourself, learn to explore and discover inside of you. There's stuff from your childhood. I guarantee it. There's stuff from your childhood and your teen years and your early adulthood that's still bugging you. It's still in your body. It's still in your body. Find it. Find it. Listen to it. Explore in there. Find yourself. Find this your pain, and then get to learn from it, get to know what is it, why am I holding on to this, what's the lesson in there for me, and then release it. Release it. You can do that. You don't have to carry around negative pain in your body anymore. If you deny it and lie to yourself about it, it's probably going to stay in there. If you deal with it, focus on it, discover it, learn about it, understand it, uncover, I call it, uncover, recover, and discover. You can do stuff with it. You can let them go. So we can deal with our negative emotions. Stuff happens outside of us. We have thoughts and feelings about what happens. Now it's inside of us. Now we got to deal with it. What do we do with it? Become aware, accept, evaluate. Do I like it? Do I not like it? Decide, and then act. So and then a bunch of our actions become our behaviors and who we are and what we do, and we get our results based on that. So it starts outside of us, it comes inside of us with our thoughts and our feelings. We then become aware of them, accept them, decide whether we're going to do anything with them or not, evaluate, decide, and then act. And now, but the warning is that your thoughts and feelings are inside of you, your actions are more outside of you, and there might be consequences. So you can think and feel whatever you want to, but as soon as you start acting on them, Well, watch out. Warning, warning. Other people are going to get involved and there will be consequences. So basically, our thoughts and feelings are inside our actions and our results. If you, whatever results you're getting, look at your actions and you look at your actions based on your thoughts and your feelings. You did those. You created them. You decided you can change them. Okay. Inner peace. We're going for inner peace. Inner peace begins the moment you choose not to allow another person or event to control your emotions. That's ownership. That's knowing that you are in charge of you. That's a big deal. This guy, this is a statue. I just love his face. That's what inner peace looks like to me. He's just like, I'm good. I'm fine. Anyway, that's what inner peace looks like. That's what I'm going for. And Dalai Lama said, world peace begins with inner peace. That's the point of our nonprofit called EQ for Peace. And we're trying to create world peace by teaching inner peace. And we're trying to teach inner peace by teaching emotional intelligence, because that's where it all starts. He said, through inner peace, genuine world peace can be achieved. The importance of emotional responsibility is clear. An atmosphere of peace must first be created within ourselves and then gradually expanded to include our family, our community, and ultimately the whole planet. Dr. Thapa and I are working with the UN, with UNESCO in Nepal and India and Bangladesh and all over Asia. We're trying to get emotional education into schools all over Asia, and they're buying it. They're like, yeah, we know this is important. We can teach people how to be peaceful. People have no idea how to be peaceful. We're teaching it, and we just talked to him a few minutes ago, the UNESCO guy, and he's on board. We're trying to get it happening. So I'm really excited about that. So. All right, I'm starting to wind down here. This is a cool thing I wanted to share with you. I've had cancer for 10 years. 10 years. And I've learned some cool stuff from my cancer journey. I've learned some, blah. It's been something, but I wanted to share with you some of the things I've learned. So in 2014, I was diagnosed with bone marrow cancer. It's called multiple myeloma. They said, the American Cancer Society said I got 50% chance of living 5 years. 50% chance of living 5 years. What do you do with that, by the way? Yeah, right? They said it's treatable, but it is not curable. And that's true because so far it's still happening. I still have it. So I've already had chemotherapy, I've had immunotherapy, I've had infusions, and it's been going on for a long time. Luckily, medical science is doing good and has kept me alive this long, which is pretty cool. So I've outlived the projections, and so haha. I'm pretty happy about that, as you can imagine. I know. Thank you, sir. I know. That's how I feel about it. I'm like, nah, nah, nah. But then to make matters worse, back in February, I was diagnosed with a second cancer. I didn't even know you could have two cancers at once. Did you guys know that? You can have two cancer. My oncologist said she's had a patient that had five cancers at the same time. Anyway, I didn't even know you could have two, but I did. I did. In February 17th, I found out that I had my lymph nodes and my tonsils all had a bunch of cancer in them. Not multiple myeloma, completely different. They're carcinoma. Oh, great, wonderful. But they said this is treatable and curable. So, but the chemo for that was unreal. This is just a couple months ago. This is April, May, uh, a time frame. June 1st was my last radiation treatment. I had 35 days in a row. I drove 3 hours a day to get radiation treatment. It was awful, and you could probably hear my mouth is all sticky, and it's still affecting me. But as of August 28th, my PET scan has showed no signs of disease. I know. Isn't that cool? So I don't have now. I have one cancer, but I still have one cancer. But I only have one, and so we still got to deal with that. But isn't that cool? I mean, I was stage 4. It was bad. They took my cancer tonsils out right away. They got me in right away, and so anyway, they saved my fanny, and very much appreciate it. So that's left brain. That's a good thing. We need to know logic and medical sciences save me. So, but here's what I did with that. Here's what I did with that. So first, I learned that, okay, with cancer, I've been teaching emotional intelligence. What are you going to do with it? I got to learn how to walk my talk. I get to test it out, right? So here's first thing. Happiness comes inside, not outside. Happiness inside, that I'm in charge. Like I said, emotional responsibility hit me hard, that has nothing to do with them. It has nothing to do with, actually, it was inside of me too. The cancer was inside, but still, it was up to me whether I'd be a butt about it or I'd be happy about it. It was up to me. And so that was the biggest thing that I learned from the whole thing. Secondly, I'm going for peace, even though I was in the middle of all this turmoil and all this having to go every single day and take these, and I was throwing up and throwing up and throwing up and throwing up, and I couldn't eat anything. And it was just, this is just a couple months ago. Can you still be peaceful? What? What? Can you still be peaceful inside of me? Maybe, huh? Maybe. I think so. And that's where I was going with it. If I know what I feel, I know who I am and what I want. It has to do with my feelings. In my opinion, my thoughts are kind of cool and they're interesting and they're kind of float along. But what it really matters, what really who I am, is what I feel. That's to me. You can take it or leave it. But being able to understand and accept and manage my own self and my own emotions, I'm so glad that I know this stuff when I've got these diagnoses. I'm so glad. So name it to tame it really helps. Try to identify what's going on inside of you. And I found out that physical pain and emotional pain are different. They're different. I can be super uncomfortable. I can be throwing up in the toilet. I used to sit here and spit and spit and spit and spit because all this stuff was happening. And it was just ridiculous. So so what? I could still be okay. I could still be okay. I can still be loving. I can still be peaceful. It's like, well, that's what my body's doing, but that's not what my emotions are doing. I don't have to be a grump. I don't have to be a butt. I don't have to be down. I don't have to be, oh, poor me. I don't have to be fatalistic. I don't have to be negative. I don't. I can decide, I can choose to do it different. So the physical and emotional are different. So know that next time you get sick, it's up to you whether you're fine about it or not. All right. So check it out. It's up to you. And that was a huge for me. Again, it's not what happens to me, it's what I take from it, right? What I take from it. What do I decide? Am I saying this is a good thing or a bad thing? All right. If I'm throwing up and I'm going all the sickness, okay, so what does that mean? What does that mean about me? Or what is some of the stuff that happened in my childhood? What does that make me a good guy or a bad guy? What do I take from the things that happen to me? Because things keep happening. What do I take forward with it? And that's up to me. What am I going to bring with me? It's totally up to me. And be careful of your generalities, right? I am no good, or I don't fit in, or I don't matter, or life is hard. Those big generalities, be careful because they're tempting. They're tempting. Well, this has happened every day. Gosh, life sucks. Well, right this minute, yes, it does. But in general, it's going pretty well. So be careful of your generalities. And I call that spin it to win it, meaning that you know that you can change it. If you don't like what you're thinking and feeling, you can change it, spin it, adjust it, change it. The key to happiness is knowing how to deal with my negative emotions, right? I was so scared. I still am. I still am. I'm going on another treatment starting next week, new treatment starting next week. I don't know how the chemo is going to be. I don't know how my body's going to tolerate it. I'm scared about that. And I've tried with this multiple myeloma, we're on our eighth different treatment. Eighth. That means it's like COVID's when you start taking medication, it adjusts to it inside of my body. It mutates, and so the medicine, some of them didn't work at all, and some of them worked great for a while, and then they stopped working, and that's what's happening right now. My numbers are really high right now, and I'm hoping this new one's going to work, and I'm hoping they don't run out of new ones before I do, because I'm scared about that. I really am. But so, what do I do with that? What do I do with that? I have to deal with it every day. I still have to deal with it every day. And sometimes I forget, which is cool, but sometimes I remember, and that's yow, yow. So, So, knowing how to deal with your negative emotions, fear, anger, and sadness, like I said, know how to do those, how to deal with them. If you can deal with them, if you allow them and you can release them, you can come back to your natural state, which is positive, positive, positive. We can boil them down. All these fancy stuff that we call different emotions, we can fear, anger, and sadness are the big three. Deal with those and you get more positives. I can give myself permission to feel during this stuff. Sometimes I get I got new information yesterday. I'm like, oh gosh, oh really? They're weekly transfusions. I'm infusions, sorry. Transfusion is where they take stuff out and put stuff in. Infusion is where they just put stuff in. It's a new chemotherapy. I just found this out yesterday, and I cried about that because I don't want to do that. It's every week, and it's going to take 3 hours, and at each time, and all that stuff. But I give myself permission to cry about it. I give myself permission to feel what I need to feel about it, and it then I can wash it through. I can go back to functioning. I can manage. Sometimes I go, you know what? I don't want to be upset right now. Yeah, I know. I know. It's a drag. I know. This stinks. I know. I don't want to talk about it right now. I don't want to think about it right now. And sometimes I go, man, my body feels it and wants to feel it, and I just let it. And then and my body thanks me for that. It's a beautiful way of handling things I've found for me. It might not work for you. There's all kinds of fancy ways of dealing with negative feelings. I find that if you just let yourself feel them, they go away really quickly often, and that's a beautiful thing. So also, one of our biggest skills is that we can open our heart as much as we want to whomever we want, whenever we want. We can open our heart and be loving and kind and close and intimate whenever we want. And we can close it, baby. We can say, you can't touch this right now. I'm not letting you in right now. I'm shielding myself right now. I can put up walls. You don't want to live there all the time, but know that you are in charge of you and you can open, you can close. That's a cool thing, right? So safety, safety, safety is what I call one of the best things about emotional intelligence is we're trying to create safe environments, create it safe for ourselves, give ourselves permission to feel that's making it safe for me, and find people and help make people in your life that are safe to you emotionally. And you be safe to them. If you allow other people to feel what they feel and think what they think, they are going to like that. They like that very much. And you become really important to them. It will really help your relationships. I guarantee it. What's going on? And then shut up and listen to the answer. What's up with you? How are you doing? And shut up and listen to the answer and let them feel around you. And they'll be like, wow, how you just changed my day. I'm like, I didn't do anything. I just stand here and listen to you. It's like magic. It's magic. So opening your heart, closing your heart, loving other people, listening to people is up to you. Up to you. Make it safe. And I found that giving and loving feels really great, and I'm going to keep doing it. Give to live, I call it. So, and 6 seconds calls it pursue noble goals, like my nonprofit, like I'm doing right this minute, coming here and talking to you guys, is a noble goal of changing the world. I want to teach the world about their emotions. So that's what I'm doing right this minute, and it feels awesome. It feels wonderful. So I highly recommend that you find a noble goal to how you're going to affect the world in some way. If you can't find one, you make one. If you can't make one, you're welcome to use ours. You're welcome to borrow mine. We want to teach the world about their emotions. So actually, it's been 11 years, not 10. And so here's a free bonus uh, lesson, and that is that when you get to choose love. Choose love. This all starts with love. Global peace starts with inner peace. Inner peace starts with emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence starts with love. Love really is the answer. So, um, physical and emotional are different. Ownership is the key. You get to choose love, please. All right. Let's see. I only have 5 more minutes. I'm going to do these slides anyway. Okay. So be aware and accept that you have both thoughts and feelings, and that they're not going to stop until you do. They're not going to stop until you do. So be aware and accept that you have thoughts and feelings all day, every day. Second, decide that they both matter. They both matter. A lot of people are cool with their thoughts, but they're not good with their emotions. Your emotions matter more than we ever imagined. Change your mind about that right now. They're a good thing, not a bad thing. They're wonderful information that your body is giving you. Listen to it. Listen to it, and you will be amazed. Give yourself permission to feel, permission to feel. I think, yeah, here's a picture of the book, Mark's book. Allow yourself your feelings, allow your feeling. Nobody's stopping you. You are. Quit it. Quit stopping yourself. Give yourself permission. And as I mentioned many times, take ownership, take responsibility for it, and you can have an amazing life. If you don't, warning, warning, warning. I say you don't have to be a victim ever again for the rest of your life. You don't have to be a victim, no matter what happens. No matter what happens, you don't. You don't. Take some time, deliberately take some time to learn about yourself. Go inside and shut up and listen to yourself. I say, close your eyes, close your mouth, and go inside and listen to you. Get to know yourself, master your thoughts and your feelings. And okay, all right. Now, what am I going to do with this? Oh, you know what I could do, right? Write it down. I'm big on writing. Journaling is a beautiful thing. Write. Talk. Explore yourself. Learn about yourself, and try to be specific. Try to be specific. I'm in a bad mood. Well, what do I do with that? I'm feeling sad, or I'm feeling angry right now, or I'm scared of these things that are coming up right now. Okay, now I can do something with those. Be as specific as you can. What are you feeling? What exactly are you feeling? It really helps to be specific because then you can solve them. Share and please, most people don't know about this, so share what you learn with other people. Please. I call it each one teach one EQ. That's what we're doing right now. People don't know, kids don't know. It doesn't matter who it is, your teacher, your mom, your brother, doesn't matter. Tell people about them. Ask them. What I do is say, have you ever heard of emotional intelligence? And whether they say yes or no, it starts a conversation about emotions that makes it deeper and more real and more important and much more interesting, in my opinion, than just talking about the weather or the government or politics, whatever. What are you feeling? What's going on inside of you? How are you doing right now? Are you hopeful or hopeless? Are you feeling powerful or do you feel powerless? What's going on for you? And you ask people and they love it. They love it. They love it. Usually. And it makes for great relationships. So consciously build peace and positivity in your life, purpose in your life, consciously on purpose, not by accident. Do it. Explore and go inside and make it work. Global peace begins with inner peace, right? So choose love, choose please, and teach other people about it. We need it so bad. So we can get along with each other. We can get along as countries, as groups, as communities, as teams, as schools, as classes. We can get along. And someday maybe we can have global peace, maybe. This is the stuff Dr. Thapa and I are working on now: emotional education, social emotional learning, peace education. The UN calls it global citizenship education, global becoming a global citizen. Well, we found out that, and what we're saying is that, hey, that's great to be a global citizen and being kind and that sort of thing. First, you got to know about your emotions. First, you got to know about yourself. So that goes in first. And they're going, oh, yeah, you're right. It is. We need to teach about emotions. Like, yeah, you do. We got to learn about our emotions first. So teach peace, please. So here's my contact information if you want. I gave a link in the chat. I could put it in again about the where this PowerPoint is. Get a hold of me if you want to. eq4peace.org is our website. Please, join us. And if you did the pre-workshop, oh, did you need this, Dr. Well, if you I'll put this. How about why don't I put this in the chat after I'm done, and that'll be helpful. But here's this. If you did the pre-workshop questionnaire, here's the post-workshop questionnaire. It's very similar. And if you fill this out, we're doing a study on this. We got 380 data points, I think, so far. Be cool if you want to join in with that. So that's my last slide. I did it. It's so right on the nose. Boom, boom, boom. All right. Yeah. Right on. All right. All right, right. Oh, wow, that's pretty cool. 100 slides in 1 hour. That's pretty cool. I didn't know I could do that many. So I will stop sharing now. Thank you for listening. I hope this was helpful. If you have questions, comments, concerns, complaints, feel free. So thanks.
My dear friends, please first give a big hand to Mr. Matt. One of the fantastic sessions I've heard in this whole year.
Thank
Great.
you.
Give a big hand.
All right.
Any questions people can ask you?
All right.
You can disconnect the slides if you don't mind.
Any questions or comments?
Mr. Matt,
Positives. Yeah, go ahead.
a great session.
Thanks.
Put it succinctly, you took life with a grain of salt and a slice of a lemon and a shot of a tequila. It's great.
Hey, whatever works for you.
God bless you.
I never heard that before. That's great. Okay. I'll try that. Thank you. Don't overdo that. You can do the salt and the sugar, but careful. And the lemon. Anyway, yeah. Cool.
Any other questions?
That's great.
Excuse me.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Promila Thapa. I'm from Nepal.
Yay.
Professor Matt, we both are working together. I'm ambassador of EQ, peace, emotional peace, global peace in Nepal. Professor Matt, you did wonderful with lots of example and real picture you have presented. Oh, thank you so much. I have seen all your slides. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, Pramila. That's great. Thanks for being here. Thanks for doing
Yeah.
all you do, and thanks for doing all we're doing with UN. And I think it's gonna go well. I really do. You saw we talked to them today, and we're moving. So, and you're the main contact. So, yay! Thank you. So happy to be connected with you.
Oh, once again, congratulations, Professor Matt.
Congrats.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
If nobody's having any question, we will go for the VOT. But wonderful session, Matt. In the whole of this year till now, you will see the best session I've attended. Hats off to you.
Oh, oh, woo. Excellent. Wow.
Beautiful, really.
Excellent.
Go ahead.
Sir, if there are no questions, can I go with VOT?
Please.
A heartfelt thanks to Professor Matt for reminding us that peace begins within through self-awareness, acceptance, and the courage to name it, to tame it. Your insights turned emotional intelligence from a concept into a daily practice. Also, thank you to the organizing team and our partners, Yellow Pond Counseling Center, Forest Creative Arts Studio, Sri Deepthi Counseling Center, Clover Learning Center, Srisha Counseling Center, and Mindstyle Hub for making this session possible. To everyone who showed up with openness, love, and heart, thank you. May we carry this forward. Peace starts when we understand ourselves and connect with love. Thank you, Professor Matt. We are deeply grateful for a truly enlightening and transformative session.
Excellent. All right.
Great.
Tell them.
Matt, my daughter is in Atlanta. She may talk to you. Matt, my daughter is in Atlanta. I will ask her to have a talk with you.
Beautiful. Great. I'm in California, far away as you can get in the United States, but I'm happy to talk to her.
At least on phone, she can talk to you on phone.
Great.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. Bye, guys.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
Doing your great work.
Thank you, sir.